second segment here on Sports Central is brought to us by the Staybridge Suites, so we appreciate them, great partners of tourism and sports marketing. Well, speaking of great partners, our next guest, Stetson Glass, co-owner of the Lakeland Renegades, and the Renegades are doing some great things in Polk County. And Stetson, welcome to Sports Central.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Absolutely. Well, rugby.
Rugby.
You got 12 minutes because Jack and I know very little about. No, we certainly understand a lot of the concepts, but it is significantly different than most anything else. Probably the closest thing would be football. Mm-hmm. But rugby, talk to us a little bit about rugby, maybe what the Renegades are trying to do and how people can get involved locally because maybe they don't know that this is offered here in Polk County.
Sure, yeah. So, like you said, a lot of people don't typically in the U.S. know a whole lot about rugby to begin with. It is growing at a significant rate in the United States, but it's played pretty much internationally everywhere. Football actually comes from rugby, but it's like a mixture between football and soccer, really, with the kind of continuous play. But it's a lot of fun. I had a friend who was playing. It looked like a lot of fun. I went out, and now here I am. So Lakeland has the pleasure of hosting two different types of rugby programs. One being the Lakeland Lancers. They're a rugby football club. It's kind of a union play. There's a little bit of a different gameplay style there. But I'm a co-owner of the Lakeland Renegades Rugby League, and the difference there is we're a semi-pro team, and we play the USARL South Conference. So we play teams like Miami. It's a South Florida team, actually, and then Jacksonville, Tampa. We go up to Atlanta and play in Atlanta. And if we're lucky enough, we play a playoff game and stuff like that. So 2019 was our inaugural season. We had a great season. And then, COVID struck and it kind of took a year off. So, but here we are. We're thankful for a lot of sponsors who are coming back to us, despite the break that we had there. And but yeah, we're excited for the season. We know that Lakeland's a host to a lot of amazing athletes, maybe football and soccer and wrestling and things like that. And rugby's really a mix of that, especially rugby league. Even the wrestling kind of concepts that go into that with the tackle technique. We have kind of a high tackle and low tackle. You have two tacklers at the same time. And a wrestler is really typically good at that high tackle because they hook under the arms and just pin them on the ground, which is what we need for that kind of style of gameplay. So we're going to have a combine on April 24th out at Dobbins Park off Ariana Street at 4 p.m. We have our coach is Dave Olch, who is he's actually an international player for the league. He played with the USA Hawks whenever they beat Vancouver, or they beat the Canadian team there. He's coaching for us. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. So we're excited about what the season brings and look forward to people coming out and joining us for that.
So Jack, I saw you making a note. Are you going to be out there on the 24th
I'm ready.
Trying out?
I'm ready.
Is that what that note was?
Yeah. Okay. Well, until I found out he's actually the world's biggest scrum guy, right? There's one guy who's the scrum, the scrum expert, who's sort of in the middle. Everybody carries him. That's him.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
So typically I'm actually the guy right beside him. So,
okay, really? All right.
Yeah.
So,
But in league, we actually, our scrums are uncontested. In league. So league's a little bit, the union is more, you have a lot of the scrums where they're pushing on each other. They set up the rucks where they're, contesting the ball and the gameplay there. League is more fast-paced.
Okay.
So the scrums are not really contested. We don't ruck, you get tackled, and the point of the reason it's great to get someone on their back when you tackle them is because when you're tackled, you want to stand up. And so if they're on the back, it's harder, it takes longer to stand up. So you want to stand up, and then you roll the ball behind you with your foot, and the game continues. So it's a lot quicker paced.
So it's not the sort of the turn and grab sort of, okay.
This sport is not for the faint of heart. Is that a correct assessment?
That's a correct assessment. I mean, it definitely takes some passion. You get in there and you either love it or hate it, and if you're somewhere in between, you're going to end up hating it. So, but it can be so much fun. I would say that rugby has one of the greatest teamwork components I've ever seen in a sport. Rarely will you go to a rugby match and not hear the communication from the field. just the consistent calling and knowing where everyone is and who's with whom and who's ready to take a ball and that sort of thing. You don't often get that a lot too much in different types of sports, but just constant talking. And so it's, you got to know where you are. It's not, in football you have a position, you set your play up, you know where you're going and how you're going to execute that play. But in rugby, it's in the moment. It's a critical thinking process that you just take right where you're at, look at what you're doing and make your decision. And that's the fun of it. So.
Well, I think, and we've talked about this in the office, this is yet another offering that there is in Polk County.
Yeah.
Professional sports. You said it was a semi-professional team. You got the Tropics with the indoor and outdoor soccer team. You got the Lakeland Magic. You have the Flying Tigers. You've got rugby. Now, it goes on. There's an indoor arena team, football team, RP funding. You don't have to leave Polk County. Go to visitcentralflorida.org, full listing of events. So if you want to see professional sports, and Drew was on from Southeastern, where we've talked about before, you can still have your allegiance to Florida, Florida State, and Miami, but there's really good college football going on here. There's beautiful things that all cable providers provide now called recorders, so you can record that game and go see. Perfect example of more professional sports in Polk County.
Yeah, if you can't find something to follow and be interested in here in Polk, you've picked a real niche sport.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're bringing teams in from outside the county.
Absolutely.
You mentioned that earlier. Expand upon that a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. If you want to see competition, rugby is the place for you. Just even as spectating. We play different teams that we host at Bryant Stadium. As we're playing this year, the big, old Dreadnought Stadium on Memorial. And being in that kind of environment is even nice with the jumbotron and things like that. And now I believe turf. But we bring other teams in, and the thing about rugby is it gets very aggressive, very fast on the field. But it's also cool that afterwards we go to something called a social, where we all meet up together with our fans. Our fans are welcome to come out, and we all hang out together and we spend time together and talk about the game or rugby or whatever we want to talk about. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures on social media of you with kids,
Yep.
and
those are all
sort of
four of
hanging
my
out.
kids.
Those are all four of yours?
Those are all four of my
Wow,
kids,
okay. So and not only a co-owner, but a player, obviously.
Yeah.
And as far as the combine, this is a way to expose people to the sport who otherwise wouldn't. So tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on out. Bring gear, bring pads.
Yeah,
no pads.
The only thing rugby, we don't use too many pads, but the only thing that you really need for rugby is a good set of cleats and a good attitude, and we're gonna help you get everything else. So that's the awesome thing as well for being a semi-pro team. We don't have player dues, so there's no cost to play. We have sponsorships, and we actually pay for travel and lodging when we play away games and play other teams elsewhere. So it's really just an awesome way to involve people in the community who want to be athletes, who want to be involved, and also like you said a little earlier, there's a difference in watching a game, for a great football team that you love, and there's a lot to that. But coming out to a local sports game on a Saturday with your family, being a part of an environment where there's real competition going on, you can't really replace that. So.
And this is a sport for all shapes and sizes, which is one, right? So you've got your faster guys are in the back, you have your bigger guys in the front. So you don't have to be 6 foot some odd to play.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. You're right. We have some smaller guys who are quick. We have some bigger guys who just stand in the middle and hit people, and we love them both.
Okay.
Yeah. Love them all.
Oh, fantastic. Well, again, the Combine is at Dobbins Park, Saturday, April 24th at 4 p.m. Is there a website? How can folks get more information?
Sure. So right now, our website's under construction. It's coming soon at lakelandrl.com. However, lakelandrl on Instagram, Facebook is also a primary method of contact.
Okay.
So we'll reach out. Yeah.
Stetson, thank you so much. We really appreciate the time, and look forward to sending our crew out there to watch Jack try out for the Lakeland Renegades.
Can't wait.
All right.
And never to be heard from again.
Yeah. Now you see my excitement.
Yeah.